Hi everyone, welcome to the session. Thanks for joining in today's session on software testing and quality assurance. Let's wait another couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, for us to get more attendees to join in, and then we'll get started. Thanks lots for your patience. Hey guys, we're just getting started in a couple of minutes. Just bear with us. Hey guys, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on this webinar on software testing. My name is Kiran GR. I'm the co-founder of Kraken, and we're very proud and happy to have with us both Mayank as well as Shalini from Qualitrix today. So today's topic is going to be about software testing. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about software testing in different ways. Today the idea is to do three things. The first thing is to introduce to you what the world of software testing entails. Second is to be able to help you understand what are the career paths that are available for fresh graduates and what kind of students can apply. And third, we also have put together a program which is primarily for students in the final year or who are out there looking for a job to get people ready for the software testing world. And we'll be talking about that as well, right? So before I get started off, I just want to quote one statistics that in a typical software development life cycle, right? Anywhere from 30% to 70% of the time allocated is actually for software testing. So you can just imagine in some scenarios, if 50% of the actual effort is going towards software testing, you yourself can understand how important an activity it is and how much of resources are invested by a company to make sure that the products or the services that they are coming out with are of top quality and do not have any defects, right? With this as the as an opener, let me just start off the session, and I would like to invite Mr. Mayank Mittal to run us through the next 30-35 minutes about the different career options and possibilities in software testing. To give a very brief overview of Mayank, Mayank himself has been in the industry for close to 16 to 18 years in different roles, and currently he is both the MD as well as the co-founder of the company Qualitrix, which is focused on software testing solutions for multinational companies across the world. Based out of Bangalore, it's a completely Indian homegrown success company, if I may say that. And we also have a very senior partner here, Shalini, who will be taking us not only through the details of testing, but also through her life cycle of how she managed to grow in the testing area, as starting right from the first days to where she is right now, heading multiple teams. All right. So without taking more time, I'd like to invite Mayank to quickly take us through the different things that he has planned for today. Thank you so much, Mayank.
Thank you so much, Kiran. Hello, everyone. Am I audible, Kiran?
Yes, you are.
Great. Thank you. I hope everybody is doing okay and you guys are safe wherever you are. Situation in India is still not so great. So I just, hope that you are all taking care of yourselves. And thank you so much for making time to come and attend this session. So what we have planned today is the following. We will try to cover, say, next 30 to 35 minutes, a few things. We'll talk about the quality assurance, what it is as an industry, because a lot of people, in fact, myself, when I was doing my graduation, were not even aware about quality assurance as a practice. And like Kiran mentioned, almost 1/3 of the companies, large IT companies, are filled with quality assurance engineers. So just to give you an idea, Cognizant, some 7-8 years back, I mean, when I was working in Cognizant, had 1/3 of their revenue coming out only from quality assurance or testing. So it's a very interesting area to be, and what kind of industry it is, what kind of people it attracts, what kind of skill sets you need is all something that we are going to cover. Then in the second part, my colleague Shalini, who has actually grown up the ranks, starting as a test engineer as a very first step, and today she's a test manager over the last, say, 8-9 years of her journey. So she'll share about her journey and then kind of give a context as to how QA as a career choice is, why we should choose QA, what kind of eligibility skill sets are required for it, and as a technical skills, what is it that is required. And finally, we'll talk about a program that we're going to start, which my colleague will talk again, someone from Kiran's team, that how we are actually planning some kind of internship programs to bring college students or students who have just passed out from college to be ready for a job in QA industry. So I think that is the context. Very quickly about me, like Kiran mentioned, I have close to 16-17 years of experience now in IT industry, that too in software testing. I run this company called Qualitrix, which recently completed 5 years. We are one of the leading testing companies in Indian market now, working with a lot of digital applications. I'll talk about the names also in the last once we are done with it. We also have built a platform, which is a very unique platform on which we work with a lot of freelancers like yourselves, a lot of homebound people who actually participate in doing testing work with us and as freelancers, and then get paid out of it. In some cases, they also get opportunities to learn how to do testing as a part of this freelance platform. Prior to that, I have worked in Cognizant. I am basically an engineer from IIT Varanasi, and I've done my MBA from ISB Hyderabad. The best way to connect with me, if you guys want at any point in time, is LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn, and you can send me an invite, and I'll connect with you there, and I can send you a response also very quickly if you send me a message there. Shalini, would you like to quickly introduce yourself before we get started?
Yes. So hi everyone. So I'm Shalini. So I have close to 8 years of industry experience. I started as a test engineer. Now I am designated as test manager. I have worked across multiple programs from startup to enterprise to small medium enterprise companies. I've been consulting a lot of companies on their product for mainly for their quality. And my key areas of focus has always been leadership, coaching and mentoring for my peers. And I also manage a community for our own product, Oprimes. And I've earlier associated with LG Soft India and currently with Qualitrix from past 5 years. And my specialization is, of course, QA for all the platforms like mobile, web, and cloud applications. And I've completed my graduation from National College, and I've completed my MCA from distance education once I started my career. And I've been alumni and mentor for an NGO called Pragati Educational Foundation since 2013. And I also mentor freshers in Qualitrix to make them industry ready. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So let's get started now. So these are few of the questions that I am telling from my experience that I also asked myself when I started my career, right? Is software testing something that is good for a career option? What is software testing? Is it good salary that we'll get being a tester? Because my developer gets more salary, he's the one who's creating the code. What am I going to do as a tester? Will I get enough money or not? And what do I make a choice? I mean, especially for a lot of engineers, they feel that, oh, yeah, should I do development because I'm an engineer or do testing? So a lot of these kind of thoughts are there in different people coming from different industries, and I'll try to cater to all of them during the course of this discussion. First, to set the tone of who are the people that are the right audience for today's discussion. So testing can be something that can be done by every graduation stream, starting from obviously engineers, MCA, even BCAs, BSc and MSc graduates, and even BCom and MCom graduates, if they have the right understanding of the domain, and of course the MBAs. For this particular discussion, we are looking at having people who are in the final year of college or pre-final year, so third year or second year of their college, and then finally the graduates who have just passed out from the college and now. Am I audible?
Okay, you're audible,
yes. Cool. Some of the people who have just passed out from the college and are looking for career in software industry. So basically, it caters to all these things. First thing, what is quality assurance? And there are a lot of terminologies that are used in the market very loosely. So it becomes very confusing for us that what kind of job. Some people say software testing, some say quality assurance, some say quality engineering, some use quality control. So it's very confusing for a fresher to understand that what is it that he's looking for and what is the capability that he needs to build in. Now, it's very simple. See, quality assurance is a process, okay, in which software testing comes. So software testing is something where you find issues or you try to break a system to find faults in it, find issues in it. Quality assurance is basically the entire process of quality starting from understanding what needs to be checked. So for example, very simple example, you use a Zomato, right? So now when you are using a Zomato to order food, you need to know that what is the purpose of that application, right? So then you define a process that, my Zomato should do these 4 things, and then I order food, I should pay, and I should get it delivered. Now, the entire journey is something which you have to control in quality. That when you are actually ordering the food, was the food ordered correctly, right? Are you able to see the whole experience of ordering the food is correct or not, right? So then you have to set up certain checklist for it, right? So these are the 4 things that it needs to be working properly or not. These are the 10 things that need to be okay or not. Now, what is testing is basically when you're actually checking the real bug. So when you try to find that, okay, I found 4 issues. When I tried to pay, my application crashed. When I tried to say order, a butter naan, it actually didn't take the order. Instead, it just ordered some other food. So those are the kind of issues that one can find. So if you see, it is very, very simple. If you understand the purpose of that application, anybody can test, right? So you need to have an understanding what kind of application you are working on. If it is a normal consumer application, for example, phone recharge, right? If you're using a Vodafone app, or if you're using a simple OTT app, which is say ZEE5, right? Everybody can use ZEE5, right? So you can always look into it and find out issues. So that is where software testing comes in, and that is where software testing becomes very, very, I would say, conceptual and very, very rudimentary in the entire process of IT. And a lot of people can very easily start and have a career in it if they have some basic skills, which we'll talk about eventually. Okay. Now, for the purpose of I would say the entire industry, making it very simple for you. Quality assurance, quality control, software testing, quality engineering are all used very, very interchangeably. You do not need to worry that I am looking for a job in QA or should I look in software testing. It is the same thing. Okay. When it comes to a job, conceptually it might be different what I told you, but in terms of looking for a job, if he says I am looking for a job in QA, QE, QC, software testing, it's the same job. Okay, now let's get moving. What is the industry? If you see the software testing industry, I just told you for a company like Cognizant, 1/3 of their revenue was coming from software testing. So it's a huge market. Currently, the market is close to $45 billion across the globe, and it is expected to grow to nearly $60 billion in the next 5 years. Okay, so it is growing at a very fast pace. It's a, I would say, a very mature market now. So obviously the competition is very high, and I will talk about it subsequently. But the jobs are extremely large in numbers. If you see here the graphs that I've put here, you can see there's a huge amount of jobs that are opened up in different portals that are related to testing. I mean, for our company itself, that I have seen that the trend of software testing requirements is even only growing with time. A very simple example, any company that sets up their engineering team will always look for somewhere between 20 to 30% of their staff in testing. So, which means that if it's a 10-member engineering team, 3 people will be for testing. Now, they could be testing doing manually, they could be doing automation or etc. But this ratio has to be somewhere between 20 to 30%. So you can imagine in development, you might have so many different skill sets, but if you have a basic testing skill set, or at least having a knowledge of certain standard tools, you have much better chance to get into the IT space. Okay. There are a lot of companies that work with non-professional testers because they interchangeably either use their product team, they use their developers. They say, oh, it's testing only. Now my developer is creating it, I will ask him only to test. Or if they can say there is a requirement defined by a requirement engineer, they will say that person only can test. But still, I would say 55% of the companies are using specialist testers, and these 35% who are not using specialists are burning more money, because what they're doing is they are putting people who are not right fit for the job. So that way, if you see a developer, their way of thinking is very different from a tester, right? Tester is working to break the system. Developer is already biased with what is created, what she has made. So that way, it is always growing tendency in the industry to have specialist testers do their work. The skill set that you need in testing is actually for specific activities. So if you see the table here, knowing one coding language is very critical, right? So generally people go with Java, but even if Python is known or JavaScript or any other language, then that is also good enough. Any one coding language you should be good at. And you should be, I'm talking about now automated testing. If you're manual testing, you do not need to know any coding. For automated testing, you need to learn one of these languages, that too at a very basic level. So whatever you have learned in college, if you have learned this sufficiently in one class for Java, that is more than enough for you to get your place in automated testing. And I'll come to it, that what is automated testing and what kind of market and salaries it has. Then you need to know some of the tools. Now tools are very easy to learn. You can have a tool like Selenium, Appium, rest assured, I'll not go into details, but these are tools which are used to automate different kind of applications. So if it's a mobile app, you have one tool. If it's a web app, you have one tool. If it's a backend application, it has one tool. But all these tools are something which are secondary and can be trained on the job within no time. The main thing that you need to know is strong understanding of basic understanding of Java. So your concept should be very clear. Second is, for manual testing, you don't need to have any understanding or any knowledge of coding. All you need to know is some basic tools or some methods of writing test cases. When I say test cases, what it means is you need to be able to write the instructions that need to be followed to test, right? So you have to define basic guidance. Like I told you example of Zomato. What is the journey of a Zomato user, right? That journey you have to write down. Someone goes in, finds food, finds restaurants, finds food, order, then get paid, right? Or pay. That is the journey, and that is one journey. There could be a lot of alternative journeys. Those have to be just listed down. So you just need to understand the application and do it. And now I want to also show you this graph, which is the salary ranges in testing. So if you see here, the starting salary of any typical manual tester is somewhere in the range 2 to 3 lakhs, which is very similar to how a typical developer would start in, I would say, with zero experience, right? And this can go up to 5 lakhs, which is something for a little more, like I said, automated tester who knows a little bit of Java, right? But what you could also do is that you can start at manual testing and over time move from manual to advanced manual and advanced manual to automation over a period of first 2 to 3 years. And a lot of people have made this transition, even coming from a non-technical background. So which means BCom, BSc, all these kind of graduates have actually successfully transitioned from manual to automated testing also, if they want to move into a more high paying jobs. But a manual testing job also is pretty decently paying. If you look at it here, in a very, I would say, ballpark number, if a developer is paid 1.5x, a manual tester gets paid 1x. Advanced manual gets paid 1.2x, and automation engineer gets paid same as the developer, so 1.5x. Okay. I'm now handing over to Shalini. She will talk it a little bit more about QA as a career choice, how you grow in that career, and what are some of the skills that you need to be successful in QA. Shalini, over to you.
Okay, sorry, I was on mute. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Cool, perfect. So QA as a career choice, I think if I go 8 years back down the line, I think I had same question in my mind because when I passed out from graduation BCA, I did not know what career I need to be taking up to. Should I go to development? Should I go to quality? Should I go to maybe business analyst side? So there were a lot of questions that was running in my mind, like everybody of you in the call, mostly graduating from BCA stream. So then, like anybody else, I thought I should be going internship program where from a small startup firm I started my journey as an intern, not even as a test engineer, where I was provided an opportunity to start both as a developer support as well as QA support. But what kept me motivating and what thoughts I had in my mind constantly was that what is that I'm enjoying, right? So as you see the points that is mentioned in this slide, so for to choose QA as a career, primarily based on my journey and experience, if I have to tell, three things are very important. You should really be creative. You should be curious enough to know how a system works, because at the end of the day, as a QA, you need to break that system to find defects to make the quality of the product better. So you should be curious enough. And third, definitely you should be a good thinker. So when I started my internship, when I started gathering my thoughts and understanding what was my strength, I really thought QA would be a good option for me, considering my personal interest, my thoughts, and my ideas. Then of course it's well paid, and then it was very much in high demand because mobile industry, mobile apps were largely used, and everybody wanted testing of those. And relatively, if I compared between my dev experience and QA experience, I think the tools, the kind of skills that a QA person requires is easy to pick. When I mean easy to pick, you can easily learn it very fastly comparatively. So during course of my internship, I got a clarity that yes, QA is a career option that is probably ideal for me, considering my area of strength, my interest. So I started my journey as a test engineer with a company called LG Soft India, mainly for Android space, where I was testing Android softwares and certifying those, which really kept me motivated because not only understanding how the system was built, I was more and more curious to know how I can break the system to come up with more and more defects and help the product grow better and achieve better stability. So that way, I think from test engineer, then based on my interest, I moved to a company Qualitrix, which I'm associated with now, where I was promoted as senior test engineer, and I got opportunity to work not only for mobile apps widely used, I also started involving myself in web and testing cloud applications as well. For anybody who has this thought why we should choose QA as a career, with my personal journey, if I have to tell from intern to test engineer of mobile apps, now testing all apps, all domain apps, not only mobile, web, cloud applications, everything. And now with 8 years of my journey being a test manager, I think that if you are creative, if you like challenges, if you like solving problems, if you like providing solutions, if you like making a system more better, I think this is a right job. And of course, coming to technical skills of it, to begin as a manual tester, I think just having these skills would help you definitely. But as and when you start your journey path, I think you should start upgrading your skills also. And it is quite easier if you're in a QA to upskill yourself with different tools and technologies. And it is definitely flexible job because you have option to switch from QA to maybe a business analyst or DevOps person. Even if you are good at coding and you still want to move from QA to development, a full stack developer, I think that is also very much possible. So starting your journey as a QA in IT industry is a relatively easier path to start into IT, or to take an entry into IT. From QA, you have a lot of options, career options, where you can switch in case you feel that QA is not something that you are enjoying. So that way, I think it is a very good start point in an industry for a people who are more creative and who likes challenges. And coming to one important aspect is that it's highly in demand. Like Mayank was mentioning, every product out there, I think, requires quality assurance because at the end of the day, end user satisfaction, your customer satisfaction is always a primary focus of a QA, because we always wear a detective cap and we need to make sure that there is no defects before it goes to end user. So that way, I think it's very much in demand, and every company requires QA. And it's very challenging job. It's like constantly you are solving problems, you are solving puzzles, you're providing solutions to a product team. And there are many career paths, like Mayank was also talking about. From manual tester, you can move to automation, you can move to estate level, or you can move to even business analyst role. And it's creative. It's definitely a well paid. It's decent paid if you compare to any other IT jobs out there. And it's easy to start. And there is one definitely myth that anybody can test, but I don't agree with that. I think it requires a skill. It requires a kind of domain knowledge. It requires a kind of understanding the product, ability to understand the software, how it is built, etc. And it is definitely important for any product that's out there. My next. Okay, so coming to a skill set for anybody to start as a QA, I think breaking into three parts. First, skills. As I was just talking about now, problem solving, having that analytical thinking, that is very important. And second element is ability to understand the software, right, or the product. It might be mobile app, web application, anything. So having an ability to understand it, that is important. And it's definitely good to have one coding basic knowledge, because if you are eventually planning to switch to automation, I think that would definitely help you. And communication, just not in QA. I think any profession in IT industry, communication is always a primary element, soft skill that one need to have. Qualifications, I think, compared to development, DevOps, or any other technical profile out there, for QA, even people from very completely not tech background can join QA, like BCom, MCom, BSc computers, or these streams. People can also start their career as a QA, as a manual tester, and eventually upskill themselves to move to automation or anything. And certifications and courses, I think there are a lot of trainings, a lot of internships that are offered. And I think this will definitely add on value, and it will also give you clarity to choose your profession right. So I think that is very, very important. And tools learning, there are a lot of tools out there, like Mayank was mentioning. If I think we should not be getting more detail into it, but yeah, there are a lot of QA tools which are easy to learn, and there are a lot of online materials available for that. I think that will definitely add on to all of this. Next, Mayank. Okay, so if I have to compare QA with other similar tech jobs, I've just picked a couple of them to keep it simple here, right? So there is always a comparison between QA and development. I mean, developer versus QA mindset, etc. So considering all of this, if I have to just give you insights about a couple of similar tech jobs, if I have to differentiate between them, I think development, QA, DevOps, more or less the qualification terms, it requires same thing, engineering, but QA has a little bit advantage or opportunities even to not completely a tech stream students, which opens door for them to IT if they choose QA, if they opt QA. And primary skills for QA is their thought process, is their ability to think, is their ability to break the system, thinking out of box, being creative, basically testing rather than coding. Coding is secondary for them, but whereas in DevOps and development, I think coding, testing, operations, everything is a primary skill. And the role, as we were discussing till now, I think for a quality assurance person, it's always a quality of the product is his primary, make assuring that the product of the quality is good is what is primary role. And career path, more or less, it is same for all three of them. And a super specialization options, yes, we need to have domain knowledge. It is similar between development and QA, but comparatively changer in DevOps. Industry entry barrier, I think it is very low in QA. As we were discussing, I think even people from BCom, BSc background can enter into QA. And compensation, I think, like Mayank was explaining previously, I think the kind of salaries that we have in QA is quite decent. And considering the flexibility that we have in job, considering the kind of opportunities we have in this path. So I was just reading the article the other day. I think recently there was a survey conducted in the internet, and QA has been picked as the most happiest job. So I think that way, for me, choosing a QA as a career has been quite positive.
Okay, thank you, Shalini. I'll take over from here. It's a happiest job. I'm not sure how happy it is when everything comes on your head when you're working on projects.
But the happiest part is making sure customers are satisfied, right?
I mean, I was just joking. Yeah, of course. I mean, when you get that satisfaction of actually, delivering work and making sure that your product goes live and it is used by millions of people, it's a very, very great feeling. So, I mean, Shalini herself has tested one of the products called ShareChat, which is, I think a lot of you guys might be knowing it. It's a local language social media app, very similar to and Moj app, right? So, I know when every build goes out and millions of people are using it, the app is now used by probably more than 100 million users, right? So when every people are using it, you feel so happy that when I participated in fixing this app, and now that app is being used by people all across. Anyways, so back to the topic. So how the career path is, just trying to define it little more concretely. So if you see, I will just segregate it into two main parts. One is manual testing, second is automated testing. Manual testing is something where everything is done, mainly focusing on the flows of the application. Like, is the application behaving as per the expectation? That is the basic understanding. So you do not need to understand anything beyond understanding how the application should behave. So any product manager or a product creator gives you certain specifications, and then you follow it, which is probably a little more outdated way of doing testing. Nowadays, you understand as a user that, okay, this product has to be used in these ways, and when I am using it, it is breaking here, it is breaking there. That's it. If you see, it's very, very standard. So all you need to know is basically three things. One, common sense. Second, a very, very strong problem solving capability, which is very, very essential. I think it is essential in any job, right? So having a good common sense, having a very strong problem solving ability, and a very good logic. If you have a good logic, then you are able to crack, you are able to structure your thoughts, see how the flow goes, and crack it. You have these three things, you will be one of the best testers in the industry. Okay. The growth path is standard, very similar to development. You start as a test engineer, you work for 2 years, senior test engineer, then like 5 years or become a lead engineer, and then become a manager and program manager. So this is very, very similar for anybody who's operating in the manual testing space. At any point, you can also jump from, say, testing to DevOps, testing to development, depending on which level you are and how much technology understanding you build as you move forward in your career. Okay. Then second part is test automation. Now, test automation is very diverse on its own. Now, like I told you, there are different types of applications, right? So you have a web application, you have a mobile app, you have backend applications, and these days there's something called API. I don't know if all of you know about it, which kind of the coding happens or the applications are developed in different layers. So there is a backend layer which is storing all the information. There is a middle layer and there is a front UI layer which we all see of any application. So each of these layers is talking to each other through some kind of a data flow which is called API. So that is also need to be tested. So all these require some basic understanding, like I said, only of Java and plus a tool. Okay, that tool is trained on the job, which takes not more than 2 to 4 weeks to learn. It's Java, your knowledge of basic Java, which is very, very critical here. Now, there the salaries are very, very high, and these days the market is so hot in automation. I can tell you that there is much demand, more than even a developer for test automation engineer. I mean, I am myself looking out for 20 to 30 test automation engineers on an ongoing basis for different projects. Although we are like, which is probably around 15% of our headcount, right? So test automation engineering for people who have basic understanding of coding is an excellent way to start and then build a career on. You can become a test architect. You can grow into a and then you can switch into a DevOps, which is another technical area, or you can definitely move into development if you want. Okay. Other than that, there is other areas of automation also, which is performance, security, so big data. So these are also very, very linked, and these days even artificial intelligence and machine learning is coming in. So these are also areas where you can go staying in testing. So it is not that testing is only taking care of the functional part. Every aspect. Now we are working on a chatbot product with an Australian company where they are coming up with chatbot and they want us to automate the entire chatbot testing. That is completely based on AI and machine learning. So everything is involved these days. You cannot say that one kind of testing is doing one kind of job, because you are actually working across all functionalities, all industries, all kind of I would say applications. So I'll just move. So this is something I've already covered. So it is more suited for manual testing is more suited for all, and automation is more suited for a little more technical people, which is BE, BTech, MCA, BCA, or BSc, MSc computers. Manual testing is for everybody in every stream, even MBAs. And if you see a business analyst, which is something that people do MBAs and join. So I myself in testing, I have come from a college, MBA college, ISB. And then after that, I came into testing, because being an MBA, I can start my career in testing because I also need to understand the functionality. And so what I'm trying to say is that all these industries can be actually used and valued in testing. I will not take much time. This is just to show that how different countries have testing spread all across the globe, and there are different roles and responsibilities within testing. So if you see, there are close to 15 different kinds of roles within testing also, right? So functional testing, automation testing, test automation, then test architects, then performance tester, security analyst, DevOps engineers. So many areas within testing or extended areas that people are working all across in these roles. Now, very quickly, what are the myths about testing? I'll not take too much time on it. I think Shalini has already covered a lot of this. A lot of people that are not understanding of the IT industry, or who are new, in fact, even people who are inside the industry and they are in development, they do not understand that what is software testing. So some think that, oh, it is going to pay me less. Some say that, oh, I am a tester, so I'll not be respected. It is never like that, because it's like a cog in the wheel, right? Everything is important, and to make a successful product, testers eventually are the most, I would say, critical people, because they are the one who are the gatekeeper of the application quality. So it is very important that testing people are strong. Otherwise, they will start losing bugs, and the entire product goes for a toss. And these days, customer loyalty is almost zero. I mean, you guys are millennials, you know it more than anybody else. Testing is easy. It is not easy. Like Shalini said, not everybody cannot test. What you need is, like I said, very strong understanding of the product, and that can be built on the job. So you don't need to bring skills. All you need to bring is your problem solving ability and your common sense and logic, through which you can make testing easy. Okay. Career path is well defined, better defined than any other in the industry, because like I said, 1/3 of IT industry is doing testing. So obviously there is a very well defined career path. Developers cannot test, so that is very clear. I have already explained to it. Technical skills are required. Testers need technical skills, but not in the beginning phase. As they grow and they have to mature, as they grow in career, and they want to grow bigger and bigger in career, they have to build those technical skills on the job as they work. Finally, how can you land a job in testing? Okay, so all this gyan that I gave you is basically telling you that testing mein career hai. How do you actually prepare for it? So first thing is that look at your skill set, look at your qualification and your interest. Choose first that whether you want to start on the manual side or the automation side. Second, you start attending certain trainings, certifications and internships. Why they're important? Because otherwise you will be lost. If you go and search for testing on internet, you will find at least 1,000 different types of testing. And all of them are, like I told you one example, right? Quality engineering, testing, quality control. It is very confusing for someone who's a beginner. So it is very critical for you to attend some training, certifications or internship to at least see the roadmap. What is testing? Which testing I have to pick? What is it that I need to learn? Because the path is very short, but if you go and search all over, you might just get lost. I mean, I can tell you functional testing, performance, user experience, localization. People will throw you with so many names, then they will talk about different phases of testing. So it will get very confusing if you're trying to search and trying to learn it online. All you need is a small mentorship, which could be gained within a period of 15 to 20 days, not more than that. So you get a direction of what all you need to learn. And once you have understood that, then you need some hands-on experience to actually hone that skill. Like I said, your problem solving skills are already with you. All you need to know is what is it that you need to do? What is the basic protocol? What are the basic techniques? Which is something as good as one subject that you might have learned in your engineering course or your graduation course. Now, once you have done it, so basically building a professional level skills and also building personal skills, right, is something that you need to work on, and that could be worked on through a training, a certification or an internship. And then you jump on to doing some live projects. How you can get some live projects? Get associated with some company. I mean, I can just give example of us. So we do a lot of live projects with interns. We do a lot of crowdsourced projects, which is an open source freelancing projects on our platform, in which a lot of people can participate. They get feedback, they can learn, and eventually they can also start making money. So I think that's. Before I wind up, I'll very quickly talk about us, Qualitrix. So I mean, like I said, we just completed 5 years. We deliver end-to-end testing, starting from automation to functional to user experience and non-functional. So basically, every aspect of testing we cover. We also do have a platform called OPrimes, on which we host a lot of freelancers and we engage them to do work. So I mean, you can see on the right side the list of clients that we work with. I mean, they are pretty well-known clients in the Indian diaspora. So we do work with a lot of clients in media, entertainment, OTT, which is video streaming, and a lot of clients in education sector, in fact, even government projects, etc. So for all of them, we do a lot of testing in real conditions using freelancers where people can learn and also gain knowledge. As a company, we are very widely spread all across the globe, but headquartered in India. Most of the presence is in India. We also do projects in US, Australia, as well as in Switzerland. Industry, as I said, testing covers all industries. We primarily focus on digital applications, so which is web, mobile, cloud. We also do some bit of work in enterprise sector, but other than that, most of the work is in digital space across all the industries. Interestingly about the platform, so you can search this up. It is oprimes.com, on which we sign up people as testers, and then they can get paid only after they gain certain experience. Of course, we are one of the top crowd testing companies in the world, as per Nelson Hall's analysis. And what you get to do on this platform is you report issues, you find your observations about some product, you run test cases, which is like follow the instructions and execute them. You may also be asked some surveys to be done. So you take those surveys, give a feedback. Surveys could be as simple as that, what is it that you like about this application? Do you like the button on the left side or the right side? Do you like the red color of Zomato, or you would like it to be purple? Something as simple as that. Also, is it performing well in Wi-Fi? Is it performing well when you use your mobile network? These are very, very simple, basic things. Considering all of that, you can actually do surveys, and then you can also make money out of it. Basically, learn, earn, and grow concept. Now I hand over to Dashrath to talk about the internship program and maybe also take up some questions thereafter. Dashrath, over to you, please.
Hi guys, my name is Dashrath and I take care of corporate engagement for Kraken. I support Kraken students with the placements. Let's go ahead with the program details. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Mayank and Ms. Shalini for all the details, and it was wonderful to understand the world of software testing and to know that there is such a wonderful opportunities available across the globe for the students to take up the opportunity. So Kraken normally collaborate with companies, corporates to build courses and provide the right opportunity for the students. Kraken mission is to get students, academia and corporate to in a single platform where each one can help other to grow, especially for the students. So we are partnering with Qualtrics, the software testing expert organization, to build a program called Fundamentals of Software Testing and Agile Internship. I'll give a brief about that. So you already know that what is quality testing, how it works, what are the roles and responsibilities, and how is the growth chart and everything, including salary. You already aware. I'm very sure that you guys are excited to know the course as well as the take up. Many of you wanted to take this opportunity to learn and build your career in software testing. Mike, next slide, please. Yeah, wonderful. I'll give a very brief about the program. First of all, who is it for? So Mr. Mayank, Shalini already explained that who has to take this opportunity. You already know also. I only wanted to tell the one point that, see, you know that how tough is to get a job in software field for major 3 reasons. The first reason is that a lot of competition. That's a major reason. Second, the skill sets. So do you have a skill set to match the right job or the opportunity which is coming your way? The third part is the finding the opportunity. That's a toughest point. So that's where this program will help you to increase all 3 points. I'll come back to that, how it works also. And this program is designed for 8 weeks. It's evenly designed to make sure that students' learning curve get balanced and they learn in the right way where corporate are looking for. The key benefits of this program, before that you can see on the right side of the slide that how the program is designed. Coming back to the key benefits, see, any learning will have more impact or the more success when you get the interaction from the industry experts. So this program will have industry experts from Qualtrics telling that, see, this is what you need to learn. This is what you need to go through and what is the outcome of this learning and what you learned is right or wrong and how you need to balance or prepare yourself for the next program or the next subject, whatever this one. And you have an opportunity to learn. All the videos are available, so you can learn on a self-learning or self-paced learning. Industry certificate on internship. See, now everybody or every university are trying to push students to get an internship with a corporate to make sure that whatever you're learning in the theory is having the right impact on the corporate to learn, or the same thing is used in the corporate. So that's where the academia is pushing students to take up an internship. So in this program, Qualtrics will provide you an opportunity of internship is a part of it, and they give us industry certification on the internship and the course completion. And the key advantage of recruitment, I'll come back to that in the next slide. Yeah, let's assume that you completed this program. So you are expert, you have a good knowledge on this one and you perform better in this. There are 3 good next step you can take. One, on the successful completion of this program, a certain percentage of students who are performing good, who have a real passion to make career out of this, so will be given 1 month on-job training in the with corporate with the live projects. Placement assistance for the eligible students. And already Mayank has explained that how their platform help a freelancer to work on the live project and earn money while you are learning or you are doing a freelancing or whatever it is. Next slide. Okay, this is where the job opportunity, another point which I wanted to address. Most of you already aware that there is a page in the Kraken portal, is that Kraken Jobs, where thousands of company are coming and posting their jobs with the detail, what is the roles and responsibility, salary, and other details. And they're looking for the people with the right skill set and right knowledge people to hire. So that's where when somebody takes up this program, the three major support will be given. One, we will allow students to build his profile into our platform, which directly creates the visibility for your profile across the industry partner. What we have, thousands of industry partner who are posting the job or looking for the right candidates, they will be able to see you. The second is you will have access to the thousands of recruiters on our portal. That means company also looking for you, you also looking for the company. Do you have the right skill set? Yes, you already have a course which will help you to showcase your skill set and get the job. And third one is that, as I was telling, that we try to bring all the corporate, academy and the students together, where we give access to regular industry interaction from experts from various companies and internship and industry projects. So next slide, Maya. Yeah. So the major part that how the costing is done. So this is priced about 7,500 rupees. But for our introductory offer, the students who register today, they need to give a code of webinar, and they'll get a discount of 2,500 rupees on this course. And we already provided the industry connect, the number where you can call, and also I'm posting the link of our courses. The right opportunity, go ahead and purchase it. Next slide. Yeah, thanks, Mayank. We have a few questions which you need to address. I'll first take up the question so you can address it. One of our question has come from how someone can be a QA, like what skills are required. I have completed graduation in BBA 2020. I'm interested in this IT, but I don't know how to prepare. So Mayank or Shalini, I would request you to address this question.
Shalini, would you like to take this one? I mean, from your experience?
Yes, definitely. If you are from BBA background and if you are wanting to get into IT industry, then I think the preparation that you would be doing definitely is one, getting some internship or training done on software testing. But if you are wanting to choose software testing, then first of all you should understand, if you are curious enough, if you really want to break the system and find the defects, that is a primary thought that you should be having. But since you have completed your BBA, the three things that would definitely help you to get into IT as a QA profession is one, definitely internship in any of the small startup firm or small company. One, second is training, having some online certification or courses. Third is definitely improving your problem solving skills and some thought process on how a software is built or how a mobile application or a web application is built. So if you can just focus on these three aspects, I think that would be a good entry point to begin as a QA.
I'll just quickly add on this. So see, I know you've done your BBA, right? And now you are looking for where to go, right? So I think, like I said, you have to basically understand some testing techniques. So you have to join a program. You have to join a training program. Now, it could be any program. I mean, there are a lot of companies. I can give you one name also. QSpider is one company. ABC is another company. Then there is STC Third Eye, another company. These are companies who are training freshers. Okay. So you do a 3-month program, 6 months program. I know the program that you do there could be very, very rudimentary, right? Or you can do an internship on the job, which is what like we are offering here. So where you get some hands-on industry experience. So it is very simpler. Like you have to understand either on a theoretical level or on a practical level. So you either join a school, which is a training school, like I told you some names, where they will give you some basic conceptual theoretical knowledge. Then after that, like Shalini said, you anyways have to be very strong on your logic and problem solving, because that is important, which people will ask you on interview. But also you need to understand the techniques, right? That how these terminology like what is test case, what is test execution. So you won't know all of that. So that you can only know either if you get associated with some training school which give you theoretical knowledge and then you practice yourself and get ready for interviews. Or the second and the easier way, I personally feel, where you learn more, join some kind of an internship program where you can actually understand that, okay, these are the techniques, as well as you also get to apply them on some, trial projects. Ask from industry people directly rather than asking from a teacher. So you ask industry people, they'll tell you, okay, this is what we do, this is the problems we face. So then and after that, your skills will be more aligned with what an industry demands, and then you get into it. I think that probably answers the question.
One of the other important aspects is, as a part of the program, we have introduced two projects that the students work on, right? So we are making sure that there's a blend of both learning as well as doing. And as Mayank said, I think if you have actually done something, you have actually worked on a project, you have implemented or you have tested out, done different types of testing on any particular product, right? When you have an interview with any company, right, that will stand out. It is not, it is very easy for you to be able to convince them that you have the knowledge when you have actually done a real project, as opposed to just talking about a lot of things that are taught theoretically, right? So yeah. The important thing here is that one is, it is not just about learning, it is about doing. That's the most important thing. Secondly, it is also about if you are stuck or if you need guidance. I think one of the gentlemen has asked about how can we reach out to somebody in Qualitrix to guide us and all that, right? So you will actually be having an opportunity to interact with people with 6, 8, 10 years of industry experience as well, so that you understand, okay, what do I need to do to get myself into a company like Qualitrix, or even a company like Google for that matter, right? As long as you have the fundamentals in place, you understand what you're doing, and you're able to show them that you're doing the right things, it'll be very easy for you to get into any of the companies of your choice. And the third and most important thing is that the idea here is to make sure that even after you finish this internship, this is not a job-based internship, right? As opposed to a lot of other people who are trying to say, you pay us money, we'll get you a job. This is not the scenario that we are trying to do here. The idea here is that we prepare you so that any company will be able to absorb you, right? And the second thing is, we also have a platform where multiple companies are posting out profiles. So you will actually be in a position to maybe choose from multiple companies who are trying to hire you just because you have done this, and you're able to show them that you have done these projects in testing, you have done these kind of capabilities that you're able to demonstrate as well. So when you look at this this session, I think the three key takeaways that I would like all of you to leave with is that the most important thing is to understand the skill sets required for testing, understand the different types of testing that is possible, and depending on your academic background, what kind of roles you can fit yourself into, and having convinced yourself that this is the sector that you want to go into. Second thing is to equip yourself with the right skill sets and experience, because now with COVID, everybody is being challenged with saying that, okay, fine, you have 80%, you have 75%, that is not good enough, right? The number of jobs are reducing in the industry very rapidly. The competition is very high. How do you differentiate yourself? That differentiation will have to come with the kind of projects and the kind of real-time projects that you're working on. And the third thing is the very interesting on-job training that you'll be able to work, because once you have done the basics internship, you will actually have an opportunity to work on a live project. So it could be the next WhatsApp of the world, and it could be the next Zoho of the world kind of a company that you're working for, a live project. That will be, you don't need to ask for a job. Actually, you will be offered jobs once you have actually, as a fresher, if you're able to show that you have the right kind of skill sets, right?
So Kiran, one very important point you made, and I just wanted to kind of reinstate that we have talked about more opportunity in testing, right? We have talked about all kinds of industries all kinds of graduates can apply into testing. But what it also does is creates more competition, right? Because now you're not just competing against one sector. Now you're competing against all good BCom graduates, BSc graduates, BBAs, MBAs, everybody who is strong. So differentiating factor is very critical, and that's why I'm personally telling you, from lot of these training schools, I get 100, 200 profiles, and out of that, not even 10 have even basic understanding, which you can get in 10 days, because they are just teaching it like a school course curriculum, right? You have to work in a way that you understand it from an industry point of view. Very similar. You must have learned, say, physics, chemistry, maths. How much are you applying it in real world? That is the difference. Or even in engineering, if you have learned certain things, how much are you applying it in real world? So it is more about understanding the real thing that you need to use for your projects versus that you learn from schools, and that is very critical to have any kind of internship and learn it from the industry experts. I think that's the thing I wanted to.
Thanks, Mayank. We are flooding with few more questions. We'll try to address the student guys. We'll try to address most of it. The next question I'll read out. So I would request you to a question. The next question is that which is the most important skill set industry is looking today to sustain in the testing, and how to enhance over a period of time? It's a manual or automation. So one of you, please request you to pick up the question and answer.
If it is automation, I am telling you, having a strong fundamentals in Java, okay, and data, and Java is not something that I'm saying only Java, any one language, right? Be good in whatever you have learned basic. If it is automation, you should understand your basic Java, and that is enough. जो आपने college level पे you might have learned. Second is that you should have understanding of a tool. Now that tool is not mandatory. You can pick it up later, but understanding of one language basic is very good. When it comes to manual testing, you do not really need to know anything beyond having a strong problem solving and logical mindset. How you get that? How do you prove that? Is by, like I said, trying to understand basic testing techniques, and then once you understand those basic testing techniques, which is something that you need to get from someone, right? That either through a learning, a self-learning, or through a course. That these are the few things. Like, this is what you have to write a test case. This is what a test case looks like, and then your own logic. That I told you an example, right? If you have to test, say, a very simple, I would say Z file, right? It is something that you already know. All you need to know is your logic. That what are the things that can go wrong when I am watching Z file, right? If you can list that down, you have logic, and that basic mindset will be developed when you are actually getting trained a little bit. That will open up your mind to thinking of a problem in different ways. That you can, oh, Z5, I can do this also, I can do this also, I can break it like this also. Maybe I can add wrong password. Maybe I can add a non word hashtag here and there to break the system. And that is all you need to do. That's right. And the next question.
Thanks, Mayank. Wonderful. Yep. Okay, next question, that will I able to get a job after this internship? I think most of us was trying to explain you that this is the program will help you to get a job. But if you're asking about that, will you get a job in Qualtrics or in Kraken? I think any one of you can address it.
I can take this up. See, the idea of this internship or the program is to make you industry ready. Now, what I am also saying as a Qualtrics MD, that definitely we keep hiring people. We keep hiring a lot of freshers, right? So we might look into this group of people that are coming out. I mean, and it is not just for every person coming out of the internship, right? So what we are doing is we are going to do an assessment also. When the internship gets over, there will be an assessment done from our side, and based on that assessment, maybe we can select a few to take them forward for on-job training. Okay, but like I said, the whole idea and the concept of doing this exercise is to do it at a larger scale, right? So that you guys become industry ready and you can get job, maybe like what Kiran mentioned, in bigger companies like Google, Facebook, other companies also. And it is not very difficult. It is not something that you should feel that is out of reach. So definitely there will be opportunities. From whatever limited options we would have in our organization, we would definitely see who are the good people that we felt have done the internship properly, have learned, I mean, sincerely out of it, and then done the assessment well. And we can explore people from there on on-job trainings and then subsequent job opportunities. But the idea is much larger than that, to make sure you guys are industry ready and you get opportunities across the board. If you have anything to add, Kiran, you can add.
Yeah, just to add to that, actually we have about 500 plus companies who have job openings right now on Kraken.com, right? And once we have a set of students who are undergoing these kind of dedicated courses on testing, we will be able to actually get a lot more companies only for the testing profiles as well. So I think if we focus on getting the right knowledge out of these programs, I think getting a job out of it should not be difficult, and we will actually be in a situation where you will have multiple options in front of you. That is for sure.
Thank you, Kiran. Thank you, Mayank. Then we'll go to next question. The next question is the internship is free of cost? Yes, it's a part of the program. So no extra charges for it. The next question is, a project is in this internship for how many days? It's again, as we explained, it's for the 8 weeks full program where you'll get a learning plus internship plus certification. The next question is there a way anyone can reach out to platform like Qualitrix where there could be a counseling happening for the shaping career? I think this should be addressed by Mayank.
I would be very happy to have that, and I would request Kraken to maybe arrange that if we can do it, because if we can do some kind of orientation with larger audience to counsel people, I mean, I would be more than happy personally. And I'm telling you guys, you can ping me on LinkedIn, you can connect me on LinkedIn, and you can ping me and send me a message. I'll be more than happy to counsel you as at an individual level. But the value comes more when we're talking about larger groups. So in that case, it will be great. We can organize more sessions like this, and in those sessions, we can definitely organize, some similar arrangements and discussions where we can take it forward.
Thank you, Mayank. The next question is that one of the smart question is it available for BTech third year for students? I think this is where the student has to put a lot of effort to learn and make them career ready for the final year. So I think Mayank, you can address and elaborate.
I think this is something that I mentioned in my initial slides, that this is open to pre-final and final year students. I mean, I know in my engineering college, we were having a lot of fun for 4 years, so we had a lot of free time at that time. I do not know how is it for you guys, but you can always pick it up along with your course curriculum if you have the bandwidth. And in third year also you can pick it up. I think it's not a bad time to start doing this.
Thanks, Mayank.
One of the other advantages that we talked about is, even as a third year or second year student, if you were to do this internship and you have the right knowledge already, you can start contributing on the OPRIMES platform that is also there for freelancers, right? So it might become a means where you can actually start earning money, start contributing, as well as start working on live projects even before you actually graduate. So that's one of the unique.
Very good point, Kiran. So I wanted to add something here from my experience. So when I started OPRIMES, my actual thought was thinking about when I was in college for 4 years. I was just roaming around, doing fun, this and that. So is there a way that we can, learn something and also make some extra bucks, extra money during those 4 years of time? And that was the actual triggering factor of building this platform OPRIMES. So like Kiran mentioned, this is definitely a huge, thing. If you can learn basic stuff and start contributing, you can start even making money on live projects, working with OPRIMES and doing a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's an awesome, thing that I missed covering up. Yes, that's correct.
Thanks, Mayank. Thanks, Kiran. So next question is that again from non-technical background student, I guess. I don't know any coding language. Can I be a QA?
Yeah, I think I already answered that. So start with manual testing, get into understanding of what is required for manual testing. And if you understand the application that you're going to test, which is something that you will learn on the job, then you are a good QA, right? So all you need to have, I have told again, is understand basic techniques, which is how to write test cases or instructions and how to execute them, right? And then as you understand it and you have a good logic, good problem solving skills, then you can start working, and on the job, whatever application is given to you, a lot of these consumer applications are something that you're anyways using. So understanding the flow, understanding the alternative flows, etc., is what you need to do with your logic, and then you can start using it for testing. That is definitely possible.
Sure. A couple of more questions we'll take before we ending the session. Are you planning to open internship program with live project to filter right candidate? I think this is one of the USP for the students. I think Mayank or Shalini can take up this question.
Right. I think that was the whole idea, right? So the way we were planning it was the live projects would be something that we would, select people who have after an assessment. So we will do an assessment for everybody who's part of internship. And from that, the people who have been sincere, who have shown potential, we would select them for live projects. And then based on that, we can also look at subsequent opportunities with them, at least from Qualitrix point of view. For the larger group, maybe, I would say, Kiran, if you have anything from Kraken point of view, you can add something that you may want.
No, I think this is fine. Actually, I think the idea is to make sure that we definitely work on projects as a part of this program itself, and then selected students will be available, both for on-job trainings, live projects, as well as we'll be looking at what kind of jobs we can put them onto, what kind of other companies we can put them onto as well. So it's going to be both a combination of the OJT that will happen after the program, as well as jobs that we'll be looking for.
Thanks, Kiran. We have two more questions. One guy is from electrical background. He say, I'm an electrical student. Can I go for a QA? I know only one coding language, that is Python.
Mm-hmm. I think you can be a very, very good QA. I am a chemical engineer, so electrical is much more technically aligned than chemical engineer. And second thing is, Python. So Python is the most happening language today. So everybody is now trying to learn Python more than even Java, because Python is relatively easy and it is more used in AI and ML. So if you know Python, that is good enough. And then you can even look into a career in automated testing, which is a test automation and more technical testing space. So it is perfectly fit. So honestly speaking, it doesn't matter which stream you come from. If you have the basic concepts and if you know one language, that adds and makes you good play.
Just wanted to add point here, since you are from electric background and you know Python, I think embedded QA is the right option for you. Just a consultation here. I think in QA there are a lot of streams like we were discussing. So first understanding testing techniques in basic, and then I think embedded QA, because you are from electric background and you know Python, I think that's a good option for you.
So that is something what Shalini is saying is super specialization, where you can actually, so for example, in Ola is launching their electric scooter, right?
Yes.
They are looking at a lot of embedded engineers who understand electrical and who understands testing.
Yes,
so there's
yes.
a lot of, we are hiring a lot of embedded QA engineers there. So those kind of skill sets. So like you bring some value and then you can add on top of it, and then you can be more relevant. So just not using electrical is also good. So you can work in normal QA, but if you can add that becomes added value, because a lot of QA streams are horizontal driven, which means they are from different industries and different specializations. So super specialized QAs are even more valued and more high paid than normal specialized QAs. Yeah, good point, Chan.
Thanks. We have a last question. Is it a live mode or online video like online course? So I would request Kiran to address this.
Yeah, so it's basically it's a combination of live sessions that will be conducted periodically. There will be a schedule set out where there will be live sessions with subject matter experts from the company, and there will be content which can be asynchronous content, so you can learn through those videos as well. And as well as after a period of time, there will be a project given depending on what you have learned for the last 3 weeks, right? So it's going to be a combination of live online videos, learning, as well as projects.
Thanks, Kiran. I think we're coming to the end of the program. So I would like to thank our industry partners from Qualtrics, Mr. Mayank and Mr. Shalini, for agreeing to come to this webinar and ready to work with us to give opportunity to students. And it was nice having you guys. And I would request, I'm very sure that most of you wanted to make career out of software testing and build your career in the right direction. Thank you so much. We look forward to have you guys on our platform and the program. And for any more information, we have given the link as well as the contact number. You can reach us on any time. So we will help you with the program and other details. Thank you.
Hey, just a second. There is one more question. Let's take this one. I am from mechanical background. I've worked 1 year in mechanical industry. Now I want to switch. This is a very typical scenario. A lot of people have restarted their careers through QA and moved into IT through QA. So I'll give you one more example. I have few employees who took maternity break and they were not working. I have actually hired people who were lecturer in someone was SQL teacher in Bareilly or something, and they made a career switch in QA. So basically QA is a good entry point if you have to switch from a core industry into IT. and that way you can start from basic QA and then move further into it. So definitely that's a very good question, because a lot of people want to switch career, and QA is the easier way relatively to enter into IT, and then you can build further as you get into the industry. Yes, sorry, Dashrath. Yeah,
thank you. No, it's I'm thankful to you for addressing the last question. I could not notice it, so thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. So we wrapping up. Thanks. Have a great day and great weekend. Stay safe,
all of you.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Stay safe. Thanks, everyone.